ago in China, and then so there were 7 kingdoms in China, and then so for every kingdom, and then so they all built a great wall by themselves, and then so for defending to keep the enemies out at the time. And then so in 221 BC, that means 2,200 years ago, the first emperor unified China as a one country. Do you know who is the emperor's name? The first emperor of China. And then so his name is Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Emperor Qin Shi Huang. And then so he unified China as a one country. And then so he began to join all the parts of the Great Wall all together at the time. Can you imagine at the time in China, there are more than 20% of the population of the people, and then so they were forced to build a Great Wall. There's so many young laborers, many young laborers, and then so they were forced to build the Great Wall. For what? For defending, for keep the enemies and the barbarians out. This one is a function of the Great Wall. Keep the enemies out, barbarians out. And then so in this 2,000 years, it's following 2,000 years, and then so many emperors, and then so they all spent a lot of the money and labors to build the Great Wall. Yes, and then so especially around 500 years ago, in the Ming Dynasty. Yes, and then so the emperor spent so many money to build a Great Wall to keep the Mongolians out. You know, for Mongolians, and then so they powered China about 800 years ago. Yes, and then so to drive the Mongolians out. Yes, and then so just to keep them to go out, and then so at the north part of the Beijing, and then so they build the Great Wall. And then so for later we are going to climb the wall. It was built in the Ming Dynasty. That means the Great Wall has a history for more than 500 years already. You know, for today, and then so there are 2 kinds of the Great Wall of today. The first one, we call that one is a sightseeing Great Wall. They're selling tickets to the tourists. You must buy tickets, spend the money to buy tickets to go in, to climb up on the wall. But you know, they are very commercial also. And then so later, after we arrive at the wall, you are going to find so many local people. They're selling the souvenirs for living. Postcards and hats and coffee shops or the ice creams for living. It's very commercial, very commercial. Yes, and then so the other kind of the Great Wall, we call it a wild Great Wall. That means keep the old style of the wall. You are not allowed to climb up. Oh, Elaine, why? Why we are forbidden to climb up? Because it's too dangerous. For the Great Wall without any repair, without any renovation, this is too dangerous. And then so you pay only $1 or $2 to the local people. You can borrow the ladders to climb up to the wall. It's too dangerous. You are taking the risk to climbing on the wall. But you know, every year there are still some people, they want to take the risk to climbing on the wall. But you know, many of them, so they were injured or killed on the Great Wall because they're falling down from the wall. And they have no any emergency or the first aid. And so even the ambulance cannot arrive on time. So there are many of them, they were seriously injured or killed. So that's why it's forbidden to climb up. And then so for your security, yes, and then so we are only allowed to climb up to the sightseeing Great Wall only. It's very safe for you, yeah. But you know, during the climbing up, and then so please always watch your steps also. And then so nearby of the wall, and then so they're planting for so many trees and flowers nearby of the wall. So that's why there are no smoking on the wall also. And then so maybe here you ask me, oh Elaine, how about the distance about the Great Wall? How far is it?
500.
You know, the Great Wall is a very long history for around 2,000 years. You know, from different dynasties, from different periods. You know, if you joined all the parts of the Great Wall from different time together. Yes, and then so they have around 25,000 kilometers. 25,000 kilometers of the wall altogether. But there are many parts of the wall disappear. Oh, Elaine, where are they? Disappear in the Gobi Desert, in the sea, or in the water. It is 2,000 years, and so there are so many earthquakes happens also, just disappear. And then so in Beijing, and then so there's a part of the Great Wall. It was called Water Great Wall. Water Great Wall. Do you know why? Because you need to take the boat. You can see the wall under the lake. Oh, Elaine, why? The Great Wall sinking to the lake. Why? Because in these 2,000 years, there are many earthquakes happened, and so in Beijing and nearby, so the Great Wall comes lower and lower and sinking down. Yes, and then so there are many parts of the wall disappear already. And then at the beginning, the distance is around 25,000 kilometers long altogether. But now there are only around 8,000 kilometers of the wall still preserved. Excuse me. We're back to the seats. Yeah, because we're on the highway. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Please take your seats. Yeah. And then so there are many parts of the Great Wall that disappear already. Yes, and then so that's why we see for today there are only around 8,000 kilometers still preserved. Yes, and then so in 1949, so after the new China established, and then so our famous leader, Chairman Mao Zedong. Do you know him? Yeah? Your best friend? Yeah, we are famous leader. Our famous leader, Chairman Mao Zedong. And then so he said a very famous saying. And then so if you haven't been to the Great Wall, you are not a real hero. And then so the people on the money, yeah, Chairman Mao. And then so at that time, and then so we make a big renovation on the Great Wall, repair the wall. And then so for the Great Wall, change a new look. Yes, and then for today, and then so there are so many tourists come to China to see the one of the great man-made wonders of the wall. Yes, and then so made with a history for more than 500 years of the history. Yes, and then so for later we are going to the Juyongguan part of the Great Wall. That one is one of the most famous one in Beijing. Yes, and then so later we are going to be a hero to conquer the Great Wall. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes or not?
Yes. Ready.
Yes, okay. And then so just now in the morning, yes, and then so some people ask me, oh, Elaine, and then so if I want to buy some typical snackers or some souvenirs and take back to home, do you recommend something? Yes, and then so later, are you hungry?
No.
I know some of you miss the breakfast. Now I give you something to eat. Are you hungry? No? And then so later I give you something to experience, to try. This one are some of the local snackers, like the blueberry, or the dried apple, or the sunflower seeds. And so I can give to you as a try for free. You can try it. Yes, they are the local snackers. Yes, and then so this one is very typical and very tasty of the snackers in Beijing. And then so if you want to buy after you try, you can let me know, okay?
ايوه لا حقسنا كنا من